That tall, gangly thing?
Fantastic to load on into game number 1. Once again, looks like things are good to go this time.
Yeah, between the Sunfire and the Warmogs, this Aatrox is going to live a long time. On the other side, we see Hwanmei has the Draconic start, has a Nikos. So Hwanmei is definitely someone we're going to want to watch at the later stages of the game, because he's definitely going to be weak for a while, and I would expect him to lose most of Stage 3. But as we hit that Stage 4, and he finds a 4 cost, maybe a 5 cost, has built up that extra economy with the Draconic eggs, he could be a very dangerous threat in the late game. Some good, just getting that extra attack speed. But, you know, we've got 5 Veins right now, so a little low, but...
Yeah, considering holding on to the Ash pair as well. Okay, does find another Vein. Up to 6. Is actually rolling really aggressively. Ooh. Oh, 2 Veins in that shop. Very quickly, we could end up seeing the Vein 3 come online. Such aggressive rolling from here, Mort. I don't know. It's just, he's just not hitting.
It's so fascinating. And this is what I was talking about yesterday, where we talked about how Milk is a really good Kled player and has figured out how to play the comp. I think what we're seeing here is Tomo being at 49 health, not being as comfortable in that situation and being willing to greet it out a few items. We're seeing a little bit of panic from somebody who might not be as familiar with their comp. Whereas again, someone like Milk, who has played it, you know, literally hundreds of times, knows how long he can go and before he can stabilize. I believe 2-star Nunu with Warmogs is one of the most effective carries at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
You're going to watch, and this thing is probably going to eat both that Yasuo and that Riven pretty easily. And sure enough, look at that. Now it's 6 versus 4, just like that. Might even get another eat. That is the power of a 2-star Nunu at this stage in the game. He definitely falls off in Stage 4 as there starts to be a lot more units and a lot more CC, but right now, this Nunu carried this fight.
Can he continue
even
to
if
do
he
it?
loses, even if he loses, though, you feel good about this loss.
But will he lose? That's the question. I mean, the Gragas,
I think so.
The Slam, the Ash Arrow is not going to be enough. Oh, it is going to be enough damage. Okay, doesn't even need the overtime to come in.
We also saw he took the Radiant Banshees. Pretty good staple pick for this comp.
Oh, wow.
Single Thieves Gloves.
Not good for El Tomo. And timing
Definitely.
and units here for Cheetah.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to try to fast 8. I think we'll see at 4-5, we'll see a nice transition. Like I said, right now, even if he starts losing fights at this point, he's fine with that.
Yeah.
He got here with 96 health, that was the point. But with these items, he's 1 tier away from like an insane Gwen, a Teemo. He's got a lot of options here. Even a Vel'Koz with a sword. There is, at this point, you feel invested, and you're like, I can't really afford to keep going, or I have to hit. I've made this commitment, and so every time you roll, it just feels like you said worse and worse and worse.
This lobby almost feels increasingly awkward as well because there's so many people rolling down so aggressively and just flat out not hitting their tier 2 4-cost carries until now, with Dudu getting that Aphelios 2 online, the Nightbringer with the Diana. Not amazing items, there's no Rage Blade, but still a good start with these Aphelios items.
It's so fascinating to me, actually, if you compare this to yesterday, where it felt like
so
everyone was bringing everything coming together perfectly. This feels like everyone in the lobby is just in a very awkward state. Like, even this Aphelios, there's no Ginsus. Playing Aphelios without Ginsus is very difficult. It's perceived to be pretty bad. It can definitely win fights, because when he casts that spell, it will hit very hard.
Yeah.
But it's a bunch of...
Oh, no. I mean, at least needs to slam some items here. I mean, it could be a Sunfire and a Zeke's. Try to make the Uxan as powerful as possible. Okay, Nico's the Aphelios. It doesn't feel great, but it's no items Aphelios too.
That's really painful. I think at this point you almost want to find an Ashe just to move the items off of the Uxan onto the Aphelios, just so you can have a carry. But on the other side, we see that very powerful Karma. Oof. Manages to get the hit, though, so should be able to win this fight.
Uxan, good unit. It looks like Hwanmei is going to cheat death for a round as Robin. And
yeah, it's again, I keep saying that it's fascinating today just how awkward everyone is right now. And going up, this is the battle for 8th place right here.
Battle for 8th place commences. The Uxan gets onto the Aphelios, takes it down as well. Robin sighing, he knows his fate right now. It's gonna be a near full board loss as he doesn't go 8th, goes 7th. Skipeus actually is going to go 8th. Uxan 2 Nukamaro doesn't have the items. The Aphelios still holds those, but is going to sell them because, again, Uxan 2 does so much. There's not the attack speed ramp up for the Aphelios either. Front line is a little bit worrying though, but Ukshan has backline access. It is okay. He can really be a kind of 1v9 unit.
Yeah, this is a little tough because typically you want Ukshan to have that Ginsu's as well to stack that up. But at least here he's got a lot of offensive power. So the hope is he'll go into the backline, kill that Karma, kill that Vel'Koz, and then still win the fight here.
Oh, it's actually going to work out super well because the Karma gets flung right into
Ukshan.
Yep. Swings around the rest of the board. Takes out the rest either. Nukumaru going to be dodging death as well. Let's see if Hwanmei is able to do that.
Just really good support items, the Zeke. So like this is Vayne at full power. We talked about Hodge as a good third item.
Yep.
So if you take any residual damage... Oh, there is the Assassin Gwen with blue buff.
It's happening, Mort. It's happening. See just how much damage she's able to output is not near the Vayne, however. She has time to ramp up with the Rage Blade. The Radiant Banshee's Claw going to block the Diana ultimate. Vayne, does she have enough time? The Gwen snip is going to take her out. Just barely not enough time for Eltomo to deal the damage.
As I finished that sentence here, we noticed the Karma 3.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's going to be a little scary. Karma 3 gets it so that after she casts her first spell, she instantly goes down to that 10 mana threshold. And so this Karma is going to be a monster basically instantaneously.
Yeah, remember, of course, you described earlier, the Shroud, given that starting mana, the blue buff as well. The Assassin Gwen can't do it at the time, but Karma is already online. How much damage this outputs? It's so much. Cheetah is on an absolute tear, but wait a minute.
Oh, there it is. 2,700 was that crit there.
Could prove crucial, but the Gwen, she is not going to be facing that Viego for a long time. Can the Gwen make her way to the Vayne? Going to be taking out the Thresh, but it's actually getting distracted on some front line. The Aphelios as well. It takes such a long time for them to ramp up. The Vayne's going to get the better of the Gwen this time and stay alive with some of the Hodge healing. That's going to be Dudu going down for the first time in a while. Drops very low, 3 HP. Mort, this lobby's going to be as intense as yesterday's. Cavalier Galio going to be so hard to take down. Fortnite 4 Forgotten. How's this fight going to play out? Gwen's going to get into the backline and get actually near the Draven as well. Not good positioning here for this Draven. Will get taken out in just one more snip and does. That is, in fact, going to be it for Mbappe. Not able to go first place yet again. Mbappe.
Group up and protect that Karma because my goodness.
Yeah, Garen too now going to be doing a pretty good job as well, shredding resistances, but the Shroud, it's not going to be hitting the Karma. Doesn't matter too much though. Gwen jumps into the clump, has to get through all of this front line. Is Cheetah going to be able to close this one out with the Karma 3? Dudu's Gwen still alive. The Karma, one of the last units left alive. Is she going to be able to do it? The Gwen, one more snip. No! Cheetah takes game number 1, Karma 3, coming up big.
And that's a hard choice to make, so really well played from him.
Well, with that, let's go into game number 2 of day 3 here at Group B.
We're one hit from being a second instead of a first, but he got the job done, and now he's got this strong Skirmisher Legionnaire start.
It's true.
Said, we'll see. Win this. 2-star Aurelia is a challenge to deal with sometimes.
Absolutely. The Sunfire Cape on the Aurelia with the damage reduction on her Dancing Blade, just that combination just means that she stays alive very long in the fight. And in these early game skirmishes, the longer the Sunfire stays alive, the more damage they're able to output. And you can see his Aurelia. Hwanmei is not making his Kha'Zix 2, and this is very deliberate. He doesn't want to actually have a strong board. He's going to sell a bunch of things, place a weak board. Good rearrangement, last second Micro to try to confuse Nukumaru, but hey, he's not playing Nukumaru, and instead he's going to take full punishment from Robinsons.
Yeah, all right. Forget the Chug Bug. The Kha'Zix has been sold. He's going to go for the 2-star Senna instead, and you're right. It's just kind of an open fort into something. We'll see what it ends up being. He is going to take a lot of damage.
To do so. Wait, don't know if he got even a chance to select his item off the carousel. Either way, Radiant Blessing is a tome.
Wow,
wait
and a bunch of gold.
A second. He might have 2 chances to Spellweaver, but immediately rolls the Vel'Koz. Oh, what is this? A pivot into Lucian. So he's going to go into the Sentinel tree instead. I really anticipate him go for these Spellweavers. Plus the fact that he's able to hit it early, but he gets the Lucian anyways. Finds the Legionnaire spat. A very unusual rendition of what we're about to see here. Let's see if Hwanmei is able to stabilize.
All right. So drops the rod on the Lucian. He's going to go up against Dudu here. certainly improved the board, swapping it to 6 Sentinels, certainly improving by getting that Lucian 2 as well.
Yes, very much
And
so.
it looks like it is going to be enough, yeah.
And, you know, six Sentinel at this stage of the game is really powerful. We're talking about a 2-star Lucian is extra good. He's checking back in with Robin songs because we kind of anticipated him to roll at 4-1. And I guess he feels confident enough to skip it and try to see if he can go for a potential fast 8. That's kind of what you're saying if you're not going to roll in this spot. And this is a little bit unusual a choice. People who tend to go for this composition feel like they want to try and at least stabilize for stage 4 in particular, and he's playing things like Kalista 2 carry. We'll see if it's good enough. Maybe he just knows that his matchups are very favorable for him. For example, El Tomo is still at level 6, not even level 7, so by all means, if you get to face a level 6 board and you know that you don't have to roll, then don't. Robin takes you know, a little bit of a risk, but it pays off, and he's not going to seem to be punished for the first half of stage 4 here.
Yeah, so far so good for Robin songs.
Oh, finds the other sword!
That's
Instant
it.
death blade! Huge moment here for Liquid Robin songs. Frontline's actually quite reasonable of a drop given his current situation. But the lack of upgrades, Aphelios 2.
Oh. All right. I mean, it's not itemized. He dedicated the items to the Akshan, but there's an Akshan too! Frodan, you called it. I didn't believe. I was foolish. I need to have more faith in NA, apparently.
Where Robin could easily take a nasty loss, and it'd be the end of it. In terms of positioning, there's nothing that really challenges him. There's a Karma 2 coming up from Chi2, and Akshan is so difficult to deal with. His heroic swing, immediately assassinating the Karma, out of damage, out of luck, and Chi2 stuck at level 7, unable to go to 8, is going to also take big damage. Robin Songs is on a path at stage 5 to climb back into contention for top 4.
Champions that's going to be doing, theoretically, a lot of damage. So it's kind of wacky, but... yeah, I'm down for it. Why not? You know?
Have you seen Draven do his best moonwalk? Because you're about to. Just waltzing right up to the front line. That's right.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about frontline Draven positioning if you put a Cavalier emblem, because he will cruise the front line.
I feel like this is lore appropriate Draven. If you're familiar with League of Legends lore, he likes to show off a little bit, so this works for me.
This is your Doa.
Yeah, exactly. I think the Ranger icon on Teemo is pretty neat. I mean, he's already got blue buff, so Teemo's kind of auto-casting anyway, but being able to hit 4 Ranger for that Akshan is just huge. Going up against the Jax now, if he can get behind it with the Akshan and do some damage, he does get exactly behind it, right on the Jax like he wants to be. Swings away, though. The Jax so low HP, but he can sustain back up with the Bloodthirster. He can't leave that Jax alone for too long. Teemo coming in, slowing down the attacks as well. That's helping out so much, but it's Akshan versus the world right now. Turns around. If he gets one more cast off, I think he can do it. Woo! He does. That was a close round.
A reposition. He's queuing up into Nukumaru's board, the Vayne, and you know, it's in a pretty decent position, but he has to get into the back line and assassinate the carry.
Now, the first Teemo ult looked like it was absorbed. The second one does hit the Vayne as well. That Teemo is just like focus firing the Vayne, it looks like. But the Akshan, he's down, and this is not looking good for Robin. Even your friendly neighborhood Akshan was not enough.
Everybody could potentially die here, Doa. It's very, very close. Skip.
All right.
Queuing
that is
up.
a Vel'Koz too on the other side. No. All right, and here's where the blue buff actually comes in handy for that Jax. Jumped out of the way of where the Vel'Koz would be firing. That's actually pretty big, Frodan. Gets into the back, though. Oh, he gets thrown away by the Syndra. Could be devastating. And it is. Ouch.
Mbappe able to get some big damage here with his Vel'Koz, and that's going to be a pretty significant wipe. With 3 units surviving, I do believe Skip barely survives.
Not quite.
That's enough for a top 4.
He's Draven 2. We don't really need that. Yeah, there's the Ashe 3. He goes ahead and gets it.
Yeah, using the Nico's
gives up the
help
chance.
there.
Exactly. Gives up the chance at the MF3, though. But he doesn't even have an MF on the board, so I guess he was still pretty far away from that, isn't he?
Yeah, a couple MFs here and there for sure. Positioning for Mbappe is good. It's actually going down the center to try to see if he can target the Vayne just through the beam, but actually just one cell over because the way the Hecarim was thrown back ends up targeting the bottom right. But it doesn't matter. The front line is just so powerful. Daisy's tanking infinite damage, and Mbappe is wiping Nukumaru. Mbappe is coming for that first place. Big damage in particular. The Viego's on the right side. If Viego can be able to steal an important unit, maybe you can see some action going onto the brand. Here comes the Dawnbringer plus a disintegration ray. Jax taking maximum damage. Viego trying to see if he can turn. Turns the Vel'Koz. He doesn't get the Spellweaver trait though. So I don't think it's going to be enough. Here comes the beam. The disintegration the other way. And the
Vel'Koz got tossed to safety.
from Scippius, trying to turn the tides of the fight. And the Viego able to use Sovereign Domination to potentially win this lobby. 1 HP apiece. The Gwen could end up doing a lot. And Mbappe sees the line. He goes for the full corner. The swap at the last second here from Skip to try to see if he can get the Viego. Is this going to be enough?
Viego's coming in. All right. He decides to... Oh, he can't grab anything early on. Viego tossed out. He's going to be stunned for a little bit. Here comes Daisy again. That Vel'Koz is so well protected. Can he get the cast off? He can. The Gwen coming in, but not quite doing enough. Here comes the Abomination as well, and it's looking pretty good for Mbappe right now, and it's going to be a win for Mbappe, coming back from the DC to win the lobby in 2. What is...
Yep, very much so. And that's resulted him in a top 4 tie in points with Nukamuru. And overall, you know...
Hopping on board with Eltomo, who's currently in 7th place, had a little bit of a rough go-around last game. I like that a lot. I think 4 Legionnaire has so much flexibility and power, and there it goes. He slams the Banshee's Claw as well. I think an underrated early game slam. Oftentimes, you can deny some very powerful ults in the early game, like a Kha'Zix, for example. So he's coming up against Mbappe, who is win streaking, and that Nidalee is going to do a meaningful amount of work, but can it dodge enough to survive? It cannot. Due to In's Mbappe's streak, we will have no win streakers at Krugscrow. There's max in any given lobby. Frozen Heart can do so much work, particularly if you wind up playing something where you can get access to the backline like a Diana or an Abomination. That Frozen Heart can just pay so much dividends in slowing down the attack speed of these AD carries. Not going to do enough work in this fight as we see Dudu's board absolutely roll over him. It is a 5-unit loss. Wow, you're right. He didn't pick up the Callista, and he does hold on to the Cinepair, which I was going to say the interesting thing about the crit build is you can play Vel'Koz from here. You can also play Lucian from here, and in China specifically, they have heavily favored the Lucian crit itemization. In North America, Lucian is treated kind of as a generic AD carry, and occasionally we go towards this crit build. This is the preferred build in China. We saw this build win multiple lobbies in the Chinese regionals. You wind up with the Infinity Edge, the Jewel Gauntlet, and a Giant Slayer, and it absolutely rolls over enemy boards. So Chi-Tu, even though he has that early Vel'Koz, seems to be leaning towards the Lucian.
Yeah, there was a decent amount of Vel'Koz, if I do remember correctly, from the Chinese regionals as well, but it was like Draven and Lucian being the other ones. And, I mean, Chi-Tu's position here to not take the Callista and now not take the Nunu.
We'll have to see how he chooses to play it out. Meanwhile, Nukamuru, who has been continuing to carry this Kled, is in a, I would say, a kind of not very good spot overall. Only 72 HP, carrying a 1-cost unit that is not going to be able to do that much work into stage 4, but not that wealthy, so he's not going to have a ton of gold to roll on level 7 unless he's prepared to full send it.
Full Send It is on the horizon. Eltomo has sent it a little bit, at least in terms of spending that gold to level. Is level 7 still 30 gold? Not bad. But Misfortune 1 is not going to cut it into this Kled Deathblade.
He also has a solid last item for this Kled. Either he can wait and try to get a bow off the next carousel, and there it is, the big hit, the Kled 3. This is almost a guaranteed top 4 from this spot, because as we have seen, Kled 3 stabilizes a board so hard. I'm not really sure what to think about it. My immediate reaction is I don't like it, but why do you think he slammed Zephyr there?
Yeah, I mean, so you got to think what you want for the third item in Kled. And I mean, he's not having one, so the Draven 1 actually takes him out in this board. But the Zephyr, if you are, you know, super sweating in this scenario, which of course you are, it's the World Championships, these Zephyrs are going to be key. It's a fantastic item. But what do you think that he wants for that Kled third item? Bloodthirster, of course, is really good. Is in a decent spot, still about 30 gold. Speaking of a decent spot as well, Eltomo, I mean, already has Karma too.
A crit build performed really well where you had Jewel Gauntlet and an Infinity Edge to guarantee the critical strikes, but you don't have that here. You have this Fist of Fairness, and the healing is so-so on Karma. So this is just not an optimal situation for Eltomo, not a position that you often are able to get top 4, though he does have 50 gold, level 7, he has an upgraded Karma and an upgraded Rel, so his unit quality might be so high that he can get away with this. I think it probably is Draven composition, which means it's either a Cavalier spat or a Sin spat optimally, not something you would typically want to prioritize there, but he could also be going to deny it to the lobby, hopping on board with Dudu, who is in big transition mode, rolling it all the way down, clearly wants to play Abomination, needs to find a Vel'Koz, not able to find one yet. There is a Gwen, and he does have very good items for this Gwen. He's got a blue buff, he has a Gunblade, and he has the Radiant Giant Slayer, so this Gwen 1 will do an enormous amount of work with this, but it won't be able to carry for very long. Gwen 2 with these items, we're talking about lobby winning.
Oh yeah, I mean, Dudu nearly did it earlier with a Gwen too. It did have Assassin this time, not the Assassin, but still, look at the work. Oh, the Syndra though, even Syndra 1s are so good. The peel potential there sets it up for the Vel'Koz, but Gwen is just dashing all around. She's gonna dash into the Vel'Koz and take it out. We see the power of it right now, Bryce, but as you were alluding to...
Ronnie says, you know what, I want to maximize my first gold. Okay, that's a really good start. He has an Ivern 2 already. He passes on it, despite the fact that he slammed the Renewer spat. I'm not sure what Renewer he wants to play from this spot. He finds the Draven right away. He finds another Draven. That's a really big deal. He's hitting the carry he's looking for. Holy God, a Galio 2 in the shot. And another Draven, but he sold the Draven. What does he want to play? He wants to play Lucian with the RFC? That's very surprising to me from this spot, Crowan. I mean, I think his items were much better for Draven. He was offered it, and he passes. He winds up using
It's probably not going to be the RFC. Yeah.
Okay, so the RFC is going to go on to Viego. So that's the vision for the composition. Meanwhile, going up against Skip, who has a... By the way, talking about carries who could use these items, I guess we weren't thinking about a Yasuo 3. The Viego gets onto the Yasuo right away, but as soon as that Yasuo comes back, he says, goodbye, Viego, you are gone from this world. It is making its way back to the Lucian, and is able to do big damage on Lucian. The Diana class comes out, and that is a fight win for Skip. Second row positioning also very prominent because, again, you want to catch the axes. Robin's able to get directly in front of this Yasuo. The Rel is able to cast and get CC on it as well, and there comes the Thresh. So much damage onto Skippy as his Yasuo 3. Yasuo 3 doesn't get to play the game. That is a player diff, Crow, and such clean positioning from Robin is going to net him this fight win. He's the player with damage still alive, no damage left over for Skippius, albeit he does have this Jack slowly scaling up, but with no items on it. It is a fight win for Robin, and it's such an important bounce back game for him with such...
Went back over to Mbappe. Mbappe rolling for the Lucian 3. Oh, is one away now. One away. Can he find it? Can he hit this? This would be a lobby winning composition. Mbappe is no strangers to first place victories. Wants to make this another one, but the gold is slipping away. The Lucians are not coming into these shops, but he finds it.
He didn't bitch the Lucian! He didn't bitch the Lucian, Crow, and he just kind of throws away these items. The Jewel Gauntlet and the Fist of Fairness are on the bench now, not able to get them onto his Lucian. I can't believe that just happened, and all of a sudden he goes from a board that is essentially guaranteed to win the lobby to one that is only likely to win the lobby. Lucian 3 still going to do a lot of work with these items, but that is a catastrophic mistake for Mbappe.
Can it be punished by the Draven? My thoughts are no.
No, yeah, I would say very, very unlikely. The second this Lucian casts, Robin's entire board is going to be
Here it goes.
And the Diana was not in position.
Oh, wait,
the Viego is on it. It's not going to be able to do a full steal, but it is going to be able to CC it for long enough. Now here comes the cast. Okay, the Draven is gone, and Robin is dead.
We know Mbappe already lost the last round. Garen 2, double Renewer emblems. The swap over. Is the positioning enough? Is the Lucian going to find its way onto the Vel'Koz?
Chi2's got him. Chi2 with that last second Phantom swap. He does not have the beam in the right place, but the Lucian dashes perfectly into the Vel'Koz laser beam, and it's not enough damage. The itemization with the Titans and the Infinity Edge with no Fist of Fairness, no healing for that Lucian, and so he's not able to actually out-sustain the damage that's being pumped out by this Vel'Koz, and that does swing the game. Mbappe makes that critical mistake in making the Lucian 3, and he gets punished for it. A first place guaranteed functionally becomes a second. A couple points of S. Mbappe, who, despite that mistake, is the only player to top 4 all 3 games today and is still in first place.
Yeah, don't want to harp on it too much. Mbappe is playing really, really well today.
So if he's able to get off to a good start in this game like he was in last game, I'm still really confident he is able to bounce back. He really wants to maintain his full loss streak all the way through Krugs. It's so valuable because in addition to getting the extra gold from this round, he gets additional gold in the next round. Meanwhile, going up against Dudu, who I don't think is on full loss streak. I believe he won one fight along the way, although they are roughly the same HP. Is Skip going to get what he hopes for here and lose this fight? It looks like it's promising. The Ziggs 2 is going to do more damage than Ziggs 1, plus an item slammed on Dude's board should be enough to take care of business.
Great last second micro from Skip to replace his brand, weakening his board in case he played one of the other weak boards in this lobby in Dudu. So Nice job, and ends up even killing a couple of units as well, so not even a bad loss. This is loss streak at its finest.
Moving over to Robin's board, this is something we talked about last game, that the 6 Skirmisher mid-game has become increasingly popular. I know you've seen it in some of your games. We've been talking about it a lot. It has a lot of power going up against Mbappe. Be interesting to see how this board performs. I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, 6 Skirmisher is still pretty solid because there's not a lot of burst damage that comes out in these comps at this point in the game, with the exception of Aphelios trying to make it happen with the Dark Vigil. But that being said, that extra HP, how you mix and match.
Yeah, they really, really are, and it's part of the fun of Draven is there's so much creativity of the board, and also understanding that certain items push you in certain directions. You can lean more into the Forgotten Trait if you need to get more AD from the traits and less of it from the items, for example. There's also a lot of creativity in the positioning of Draven, because when you have that rapid light cannon, you don't necessarily have to like front row or second row the Draven, because you do gain, it goes from being a very short-ranged AD carry to a very long-ranged AD carry. It can stay safe, it can keep catching its axis, a really big deal. We're getting a look at the Radiant Blessing for the first time. It is a Tome of Traits, so there's going to be a lot of power in this lobby, and boom, that is exactly what he was hoping to find. He's going to...
Needs to find an additional Spellweaver throw in. Zyra is on the bench, can work it in as well. Still continuing to roll down, only have a few seconds left. Needs to get everything in his house in order. And finds a couple of impactful 2-stars. Now going to position, put his items in. Chiju is looking good.
Yeah, overall looking good, though I think a mistake was made here. He has forward... Oh my god, talking of mistakes from bad to worse, he plays the Leona for 4 redeemed instead of the 4 Spellweaver, and then he puts the Spellweaver spat on his Nunu instead of his Fiddlesticks. We're going to have to remake that unit.
There was a Sentinel Shield. It's very tricky sometimes for Akshan without the actual Sentinel buff to cover him to get that done, so a lot of times he really wants to have that Bloodthirster, or in the worst case scenario, have a Hand of Justice.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dudu, meanwhile, rolling all the way down on level 8. He desperately needs to find an upgraded Kayle. This Kayle 1 will put out a meaningful amount of damage, but it is so squishy in this lobby. He's able to find an upgraded Jax. It's a little bit more frontline. I am very nervous for Dudu's position here. These Kayle items are not great. You really prefer to have a Rage Blade in order to ramp up. It's not that they're bad. They're just not outstanding, and he does not have the best frontline overall. Just a Rel 1, Nautilus 2. That Jax is a big upgrade, and that Lucian is wailing away on the Kayle. The first cast is not enough, but there is the Thresh Hook coming through. The Thresh Hook actually pulls the Kayle away, so now it's not the furthest unit anymore. The Lucian is firing away on the backline, but hey, that squishy Kayle in the middle of the fight is eventually going to go down. El Tomo, who we talked about looking for that Aphelios,
did just roll a good amount of gold and did not materially improve his board right now, and also has a couple of floating items. As Diana is in the position to Moonfall in the back line, trying to use the Archangels. The Moonfall misses the Vel'Koz. The Nightbringer shield not enough, but the Dark Vigil at least cleans up a couple of units, so not a huge loss here for Robin Songs, because some of these units are summons. But his job isn't done. Robin, by rolling and not improving, is not committing to level 9. He needs to find a way to stabilize his board.
Yeah, and meanwhile, taking a look at Nukamaro, who is eliminating Dudu in 8th place, and is just taking a Vel'Koz too. And this is the exact reason I said I was worried about this man. This board has all of the right units, or most of the right units, but just not the right items. It's just so hard for him to do damage here. He reforges, he gets a Gunblade. Okay, this is not the best version of Vel'Koz that we've ever seen, but it is better than what he had.
The best items on Vel'Koz, but he has Gwen. He has an opportunity. He has it out. Let's find out if he's going to be able to live to that point here. Scipeus is down to his last life, going up against Juanmi, that Mistral. Not super impactful, as it's just targeting in the back. Akshan Heroic swings back over the Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz beam not able to get it done. And Skip had a very cool improvisational board, but that has earned him a hard 7th.
Similar spot to Robin, is able to high roll. He hits the Aphelios 2, and he's able to go to 9, and will be looking to cap out that board. Meanwhile, Robin has been rolling on level 8 since the beginning of time, it feels like. And just to rub it in, here we go. He gets to play Nukamaro, who is holding the extra Aphelios on the bench. It is so punishing to Robin, but Robin positions beautifully, gets that Diana onto his opponent's Aphelios with that Frozen Heart, with the Legionnaire spat. It is able to do meaningful work, and Robin says, I will take an Aphelios 1, and I will out-position you, Nukamaro, and I will win this fight as a result. Such an interesting adaptation from Nukamaro, who continues to impress me with his fluid gameplay.
Yeah, that's right. No Teemo for Invoker is what's going on right now, and ends up going up to Mbappe. Here comes the heroic swing right into the Vel'Koz damage, but again, with that reduced damage, not going to be the biggest of threats, and Mbappe has done a good job to stall for as long as he can, but it's not going to be enough. Or emblems. Positioning to see if he can get his good Diana spot, keeping Aphelios opposite side of rail, some good fundamentals. Where does the Shroud go? Most likely down the center.
Oh, Diana's positioned perfectly.
Okay, but the Dawnbringer is going to come down a little bit early as well, but the double spell shield, the Banshee is the big moonfall. Aphelios is down on the other side. Gwen is also a big threat of damage as well, so don't discount that. But here comes Robin Songs, and his positional advantage mean everything. It does! Robin Song is able to get the win over Nuka-Maru. And it's lethal double kill for Liquid Robin Songs in game number 4. He is back in the competition.
He had opened up with a couple of bot 4 finishes as a result, and now back-to-back top 4 finishes, and there he is.
But yeah, here we go. And this is one of those carousels that I think a lot of players are not super fond of.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you can just go into the mid game with high HP, secure that top 4 finish, you know, secure a spot in the finals, it's definitely what he's looking for. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Senna 2 for G2. Just picks that up. Right now, he's second in the points overall here.
Yeah.
With a decent start with that Ziggs.
Yeah, on a loss streak here, which is good. Like, very good economy here. Definitely building towards that Vel'Koz board at this point is what we'd be expecting. But I do like the Ziggs with the Shojin Slam here. That gives him just enough power to kill a lot of units. Hopefully loses this fight with a really good loss. And, yep. Oh wait, we gotta beat the clone. Oh, no.
You're right. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Stun? Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, I think he's gonna win this. That is not what he was looking for. This composition. And all he's worried about is staying strong, continuing to win streak, and then based on which one he hits, he'll make the adaptation that likely doesn't involve Aatrox keeping that belt.
Well, we got the win streak players playing against each other right now. There's Hwanmi with that powerful crit Ziggs on the other side. The Varus is doing a lot of damage, but the Thresh Hook prevents the Ashe from building up to another stun here. That Ziggs is still untouched. There we go. The Ziggs just gets popped. And so that will be Robin Songs continuing the win streak.
See that Vel'Koz? But I'm not sure that Robin is. He slammed items that don't really work for it. And again, we've talked about how his style is very AD focused. I'm not sure Robin will take that Vel'Koz and use it.
I mean, he doesn't really need to. He's still going to strongboard either way.
Oh my god!
What? That is an Aphelios 2 at 3-2. Are you kidding me?
That right there,
Nuka-Maru's stunned.
He has to be so happy right now because right now he needs a top 4. He is one of those players right on the edge, sitting at 19 points. If he this is the kind of start you're just like really grateful for. Has the rod, if he can get a Radiant Ginsu's or a Ginsu's, start upping his front line. We've seen today, Aphelios is one of the most dominant comps all day. And the fact that he's already got it 2-star at 3-2, this is massive for the JP representative.
If you see other people with Giant Slayers, sometimes that locket, because of the extra HP it gives your team, can push units into the Giant Slayer range. So I feel like it's one we don't see very often.
We certainly don't see it very often, but with this Jax comp, it's not a bad pick. But the reality is, even with a locket, Jax 1 is not going to be able to stand up to a Kled 3. So we're seeing Skip play that Kled comp, has the Kled 3, has the Kennen with Frozen Heart. Meanwhile, Skip on a win streak. I believe he's playing, here's Skip with the Kled comp. Definitely has a lot of this online. The only thing really missing is the Kennen 3, and if you look at his bench, he's one Kennen away. So this is sort of that peak form Hellion comp that we saw yesterday, and he has almost all the pieces put together, plus the Hellion spat. This is going to be a very strong position. And
it's the players from Robin on down that need to have pretty spectacular finishes to get through.
I caster cursed.
Positioning.
I caster cursed it. No.
You said it. That Vel'Koz is in the perfect position for G2 to murder this board.
Goodness.
Oh, the Heimerdinger.
I'm so sorry.
You had to say it.
I did.
Heimerdinger did not survive. Meanwhile,
Mbappe in 8th. Oh my god.
The other people are playing in the lobby, and he's doing exactly that. I want to call out Dudu as well, who's on a win streak and rocketing up there as well. Look at this Vel'Koz positioning.
This Vel'Koz positioning is so smart. This is so really going to wreck Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, but the Diana saves!
The Diana! Maybe save the day. We'll see if the... Yeah, it did. Wow, that Diana totally bailed Robin out.
If he can get that Kled 3, might win the lobby. And Nuka-Maru with Aphelios 3. Holy crap.
He found it. He actually found it, more. That is amazing. You know, one of the things here, remember too, that Nuka-Maru...
Hwanmi with Lucian 3. Huanmei with Lucian
Wow,
3.
we've got multiple 3-star forecasts. That means that Robin might be able to hit that Draven as well. As the pack gets thinned out, it gets easier to hit those 3 stars.
This is bad for Robin.
Dear.
This is real
Very
bad
bad
for Robin.
Very bad. He didn't hit the Draven 3 yet.
That might be it for Robin. That might be it for NA here.
Oh, it's so much damage, and Robin knocked out in potentially 6th place. We'll see.
I think this is definitely the weakest comp in the lobby. Does have the 3 Ironclad 4 Knight, which will help a little. If this Jax can ramp up, he might have a shot. It's really going to depend. Oh, if this... Oh, he Zephyrs it, though. Nope. I was going to say, if he could get the Viego on the Aphelios, maybe there was a shot here, but unfortunately, I think with this casts, that's a lot of dead people.
He's going to take out the Lee Sin. You know, the attack speed slow on from the Lee Sin might do it. Jax gets on the back. He's on the Aphelios, but no, the cast comes through. Oh, but wait. The Viego's still there. If he can cast, again, the Aphelios comes through first, and that's going to send Dudu out. But he's in third.
He's in third over Skip. Over Nukumaru here.
I mean, we talked about the mid-20s being the cutoff on the last couple days, right? And if a first place for Huanmei would be 25, so he'd be right there. Did he get the Diana in the right spot? She's jumping over. Oh, she runs back towards the middle, though. She didn't get to the Lucian. She's not going to hit it again. The Aphelios gets the time to cast. Oh, now she gets back there, though.
This is going to be
close.
Aphelios
is down.
Yeah, Aphelios is down. Rakan heals the Lucian, though, and that's going to be a Lucian win.
Lucian's got it. I think so. That's right.
That is
Lucian
huge for Huanmei.
Yeah, Huanmei absolutely psyched with that. Knocks out the player from Japan. The player from Japan, Nukumaru, we believe has already made it through. But Huanmei, who needed that first place, needed all 8 of those points. He gets them, Mort.
And oh my god, look how close it is.
Oh, wow. That was so... Look at this. We've got Mbappe, Nukumaru, G2 from China, and Huanmei from China. 2 players from China make it to the grand finals. Retribution for last set when nobody made it to the final day. Meanwhile, Korea, the region that won set 4, does not send anyone to the grand finals. Robin, one of the heroes of NA, knocked out. Bit of a tragedy there, but we still have a little bit more hope to look forward to NA at least.